Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Boozer here. Today's video I want to do a little kind of discussion about a very important topic, obviously with what's happening all last week and all. We had the introduction of the new mythical champions as well as the primal quartz and the primal shards into the system. So it seems to me that we all have made our own conclusions about this system and what we can improve upon and what we would like to see in the future. Well, there's an interesting poll right now going on Reddit, and I found the results very interesting, and because of what people are actually leaning towards and what I feel personally would actually benefit the most. So let's jump into this poll and see what everybody else thinks. So just a quick recap, if everyone's been aware, the last week we got these new shards in. They have their own separate pull rate on these new mythical champions. Mythical champions are a new tier of champions beyond legendary. They have a metamorphic form. Basically, there are 2 champion kits in 1 champion. There's only 5 currently released, so it's not too much to talk about so far, but of course they're super hype right now and super cool. So just in case you guys weren't aware of what these red shards were, we were also given 2 for free, I believe, or 1 for free. And yeah, so just get you guys all caught up. But here is the poll that I'm talking about. This is on Reddit, by the way, on the subreddit for Raid Shadow Legends. So one of the moderators put up a mythical champion improvement poll, and here are the options. Mercy system for primal shards akin to void shards. So currently it's a 300 primal shard mercy. So on your 300 shard, mathematically 300th is your 100% guarantee mythical champion. So obviously, like, probability wise, no one would, come close to 300 usually. But of course it is possible. It's near impossible, but it is possible. So that is something that's going on right now. But right now it's set to 300. Void shards and ancient shards are actually 200. So it's much worse than those ones. And of course the mythical, the primal shard is much more expensive, currently valued at around $8 in the shop, whereas ancient shards are valued about $1.25 and void shards about $2.50 or $2 on the best deals possible. So that's one of the options. I don't know what you guys think about that. Second option is have 2 different equipment sets on each champion. So on the mythical champions, also include masteries. So that's actually kind of interesting, because one of the biggest problems with mythical champions is that they only have 1 gear set. They only have 1 gear set for their form. So for example, Siegfried, so he has an attack based form and a support based form, but there's only 1 gear set and 1 mastery set for each. Obviously we don't gear Duchess in Savage gear, and we don't gear Duchess with Helm Smasher, but we would have to gear Sigmund totally different for his support form compared to his attack form. So with this poll, it's saying they should add 2 gear sets and 2 sets of masteries for each mythical champion. Personally, I think this is actually a decent option to increase the strength of the mythical champions, because I feel currently the mythical champions are actually not that strong because of one of these is a big reason. One of this is a big reason. The 1 gear set, and then obviously the one set of masteries makes them pretty weak, right? It's kind of like having 1 form with an extra move, maybe. Or an extra like revive on death kind of move, I don't know, change, but it's not as strong as it seems, right? Because you're not able to fully utilize 2 kits. So with the second option, you would be able to fully utilize both kits, thus making them stronger, more wanted. Because I currently feel like these champions are not strong enough to be meta defining at all, and I feel like this might actually tip the scales in their favor. It also increases the gear hunt, because you'll be putting your best damage dealing gear or your best damaged or your best support gear on 1 champion, so you have to farm more gear, which also benefits Plarium as well. I think it's kind of a win-win. But yeah, we'll go on. The next option is increased mythical champion stats and multipliers. Personally, I don't know how much stats you can increase it by to make it relevant enough. So I feel like this is a weak option. This is a weak option here. Like, you can add an extra 100 attack, extra 5 speed maybe, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Yes, they'll be much stronger, but will they be that much hype to go crazy for them? Not really. Would they be stronger than like +4 champions? Probably not. Would they be stronger than the current best champions like Taras? Probably not. Next one is add mythical shards to Demon Lord rewards. So this is an interesting one. There's a couple of things that we gotta be careful about. Obviously, with the Demon Lord rewards, what if they take away some of our shards, right? What if they only give us quartz? What if they take away like void shards, ancient shards, and only gives us quartz of primal shards? I don't think that's going to be a viable option. If they add it on top, of course, great. But I feel like the upcoming void boss is probably where we're going to be seeing these primal shards and quartz get dropped. So since we farm regular shards from the Demon Lord clan boss, we will likely get quartz and shards from the Great Void clan boss. Makes sense to me, right? In the future, they might actually maybe increase the Hydra Clash rewards as well, because currently that's it. That's all you're getting per week. I could see them increasing this significantly in the future. They did do this with the, I believe, soulstone drops or soulstone essence. So there was an increase there. So they did increase it, and I wouldn't be surprised. And then let's see. The next option is add mythical shards to the tag team arena bazaar. So the tag team shop is kind of weak, but obviously it's not even going to be the weakest part. The weakest shop is the regular marketplace. But if you can add like, I don't know, quartz in the gold section, I'm not opposed to that. Put some quartz here. Why not? It would improve activity for tag team arena. Most people hate tag team arena, especially in the gold. Trying to get the gold is obviously very difficult, and trying to stay in gold is difficult. So putting the quartz here as an end game resource, sure, I could see that. Like replace this 5-star chicken, or put it in the same slot as, I don't know, this tome, this legendary tome or something. But I don't know. I think it's a reasonable ask to put it there. It would have a cooldown, so it's not going to be super impactful, because if you can only buy like, let's say like 50 quartz a week, it's not going to be huge. So I don't think it's super viable or it's super useful to have quartz in the tag team shop. You could argue in the clan shop you could put quartz somewhere here too, which would kind of be kind of cool. Although again, you're not going to be able to accumulate so much quartz or shards that's going to matter too much. So, and the last option is add mythical shards to the live arena chest. Now this one, personally, I feel is very impactful, because if you add it to the chest, depending how much you add, you can add 25 to 50, 25 to 75, whatever. This would mean that this shard is now farmable. It's farmable now. It takes time, and it takes gems to buy bags or whatever, and it takes obviously a good roster for you to get wins. But this means that this primal shard becomes farmable, which is like the first shard to become farmable in this way. So if you had the time to focus on live arena, if you had the gems or whatever to pay for refills, you can definitely farm some primal shards. And the problem is, we need lots of primal shards to hit those mythic champions. So I think this is one way that we can get like a decent amount of shards for obviously considerable effort. It also makes this format super more active, because right now it is not active. I recently watched a video from The Real Deal, and he was saying that his wait list he's just waiting every time to find partners. I don't know if it's a scheduling issue or what. I've never had issues myself, but I haven't been playing too much recently. But he's saying that he's been in the queue many times. So I think live arena activity is definitely dying down, and it's probably going to get worse over time. So this is one way to definitely bring up the activity by adding primal shards to this, which is an end game content for end game content. I don't know. I think it's viable. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll show you guys what people are asking right now. So These are the options. This is what the poll says. People want mythical shards in the Demon Lord rewards. So this is why I think it's like a be careful what you wish for kind of thing. Because if Plarium is watching this poll, which they might, because it's Reddit subreddit, raid subreddit, I'm sure like they have people watching this, social media or whatever. But if they see this poll and it's an overwhelming, poll for mythical shards in the Demon Lord clan boss rewards, we have to be careful what we ask for as a community, because if they take away regular shards for mythical shards, that greatly devalues some shard pull. Like it's going to affect like our shard events in the future. So whether it be like champ chase, it's going to be lower value because you're pulling more rares. And yeah, it might even be less. It might even be just quartz coming out of clan boss. But if they add it on top, that's great. Okay, so personally, I selected live arena chess because, like I was explaining, it's kind of an end game farmable resource, which is probably one of the first farmable resources we had of like significant value. And it's in a format that nobody really pays too much attention to. But if Primal Shards are there, I guarantee you the activity for that would definitely jump up significantly. And I think it's good. I think it's good that live arena would get a lot of love because it forces people to build out champions to be good and be competitive, of course. Anyways, the other votes going to Mercy, increasing the Mercy down to 200. So I don't think that's significant because we're not going to be getting like, Primal Shards like hundreds and hundreds in a year. We'll probably be getting like 200 for half a year, similar to Void Shards. So I don't think the Mercy is super significant upgrade. The double gear set and mastery I think is actually pretty cool, and I think is a viable change if Plarium decides to go that way. Similar sentiment here, increasing the stats doesn't really do anything, so the same thing that I felt as well, that most people are not voting for that. And then adding mythical shards to the tag team bazaar, which I think is kind of okay too. But like I said, because there's a cooldown attached to it, you're probably not going to get too many shards, and it's not going to be super significant anyways. It's just going to be a small amount of quartz or shards, only for people in gold. But it might actually increase the activity in gold. So you never know, and that's always a good thing. So I think overall, I think what Plarium should probably do is probably add it to a section that doesn't get much play, which right now is tag team or live arena. So I think that's a very viable thing. I wouldn't touch clan boss unless they want to add it on top, but we know Plarium, they're not going to add anything on top. They're probably going to take away something. So don't take away anything. And if they want to change something with the champions, give them an extra gear set, give them an extra set of masteries, or give you an option to give them the option to double up the gear set, double up the masteries, or whatever. But I think that would fix some issues too, especially with the power level of some of the mythical champions. Although Plarium does have some design flexibility later on where they can just make stupid champions, and then we'll be fine. But I think the double gear sets would be pretty cool, and it totally makes sense because right now it doesn't make sense. If you have an attacker and a support in one champion using one gear set, it doesn't make sense. Anyways, guys, just some conversation here. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would have picked in the poll. If you guys want to check out the poll, it's on the subreddit. Check it out, and let me know what you guys think of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.